Hello and welcome back to another episode of The House in Fata, Morgana. Let us see where our story takes us this time. Despite his near devastation by Nellie's news, Mel's flaxen eyes continue to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. By now, it should be quite obvious to you what Mel was feeling. But the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, his heart would leap, his whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. He had never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep these strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw an opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl. And days he was unable to, he either spent in secluded silence or a distracted daze. Love is a curious thing. It has the power to change those who experience it. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue. Again and again he talked to her, and again he stumbled. I imagine if you were to take him to see a romance at the theater in his present state, he would cry just as much as little Nellie. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels with our own lives. At least, that is what I think. Great tales of romance attain true gravity with the audience only when they are personally familiar with love. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed. She was delighted that he was being so kind to her, but confusion overpowered every other emotion. She appeared to be at a loss for what to do as he clumsily catapulted words and stares at her. But Mel did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt from within his breast. One's first love in particular tends to burn like a wildfire. Are you familiar with the sensation, Master? Oh? Ah, there she is. Is she cleaning? No, it looks like she's reading. It's now or never. Boo! Ah! sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Lord Mel, you very clearly meant to scare me. Because you just wouldn't notice me. What are you reading? You looked pretty engrossed. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked for permission. It's fine. No need to apologize. Feel free to read whatever you want. And you're welcome to bring books back to your room if you'd like to spend more time with them. But I was just amazed that the mansion had a library. It must have been a lot of work to collect all these books. There are some pretty old books in here, too. Your grandfather's? Some that he collected, and some even older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but it's not from this country. Or this century, for that matter. Maybe a feudal lord? Haha, here, he's complaining about the quality of the harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce over-sour grapes? Ah, if only the largest of the... Barney? Or maybe Barnier? If only the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead. The land there is much more suitable to cultivation. There you have it. You can read this, Lord Mel? More or less. I've looked over it several times already, so that wasn't too difficult. Why would such an old book be here? I'm not sure. It, and all of this, was already here when I moved into the mansion. Have you not lived here your whole life? I was born at our estate. But to me and Nellie, this is more like our home. We moved when I was still young, and we've lived here ever since. Nellie and Mother have both grown quite fond of it. Father, though, often goes back to the house because he doesn't like all the roses. By himself? Yeah, well, sometimes Mother goes with him. But for the most part, he goes alone. But don't get me wrong, it's not because they don't get along. In fact, they act more like teenagers in love than grown adults. It almost makes me sick having to watch it. It is a wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they may be. True, but still, there are those in the world who cannot be with the ones they care for, as much as they wish. Um, I'm sorry about that. Uh, oh, that's right, the book. What were you reading? I wasn't exactly reading. I can't. I do not enjoy reading lots of text, so I was looking at the pictures. Is that so? You seem very cultured, so I thought you would be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nelly and eschew your studies? I. Yes. I wouldn't have guessed. But you like looking at pictures? I do. What else do you like? What? What do you enjoy doing? It can be anything. I enjoy being told stories. Stories? Yes. When I was young, my father would tell me tales. What kinds of stories did you like? Um, there was one about an imprisoned girl. Tell it to me. Once there was a girl, and she was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. A mansion with only one window. But the window sat high upon the wall, far beyond her reach. So it was always very dark inside, unlike this mansion. However, the girl did not like the outside world. There were lots of scary things out there after all. Though she may have been all alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness in time, so she had nothing to be afraid of. And then... Um, am I doing a good job? You're doing fine. Keep going. What happens next? Okay. And then the girl grew up. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up, but she was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to the little bit of light that spilled through the one window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the sight of the light made her heart race. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant, because she disliked the light and the outside. But slowly she came to realize that she was curious about the outside world. What could be... Okay, I think I accidentally hit the auto button. For all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. But she had no way of finding out. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window. What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she was finally ready to give up. Then, a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for the girl. It also said that if she attached her reply to the dove, it would bring the letter back to him. She was astonished, but she wrote him back anyway, taking care not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt very close to one another, as though they had known each other for many years, despite having never met. And eventually, the man said he wanted to meet her? Indeed. The girl was unsure what to do. Should she tell him of how she lived? Should she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, he would cease to send her letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, and not a girl locked away in a house deep in the forest. The girl could not bring herself to write a response. She released the dove through the window with nothing attached to its leg. And yet it returned with another letter, written in the man's familiar hand. "You must surely have a grave reason for your silence," it said. "I would like to know that reason. I would like to help you. No matter what it may be, have my word." She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know this man. He was from the outside. Would he still treat her the same way when he met her? And did she even want to step out into the world beyond? What do you think she did? Wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right? Yes, did. Girl made up her mind. She would write a letter. As always, when she tied it to the dove's leg, it flew off out the window. And for some time after that, she received no response from the man. This saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged in her own confined world, her world of darkness. Then one day, light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man. "I have come for you," he said. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. When the girl stepped outside, before her sat a magnificent carriage, the likes of which she had never before seen, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in the letters, swore his love to her, and the two lived happily ever after. Ah, what a nice story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. A prince. Was there something funny about the story? No, that's not why I was laughing. Do you ever imagine what it would be like if a prince showed up for you? Huh? It doesn't have to be a real prince, even just someone like one. Is that something you dream about? Oh, no, I think I'm perhaps a little too old for that. You think so? Nellie still fantasizes about her prince, and she's 14. I just assumed all girls were the same. Lady Nellie's prince. That's you, Lord Mel, no? What? Is it not? I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I very much doubt she still thinks of me that way in earnest. When she calls me her prince now, it's mostly in jest. If it weren't, that would be concerning. Oh? Uh, that story. Do you know if it's a regional tale? One that's been passed down through the ages? I'm not sure. It could very well be of my father's own creation. Um, you might think me conceited, but I think the story might be about me. The girl trapped in the mansion is you? You haven't been locked up anywhere before, have you? No, thankfully. I have never been locked up before. Oh, thank goodness. But with an appearance like mine, I can sympathize with her being afraid of the outside world. I have, at times, imagined how wonderful life would be if it were only me and my father. But the girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote that story, then I believe it contains his hope for you to end up the same way. Oh? I don't have what it takes to be a real prince and whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. So, if it was your father's wish for you to see the outside world, then surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all the scenery that world has to offer. I want to see the outside too. Or, to be more specific, other countries. So, if you'd like, we could maybe go see distant lands together? Ah, dearest Mel, I've been looking all over for you. Nelly. Look at this, dearest Mel. Mother bought me these wonderful gloves to wear on walks. The roses embroidered on the wrists are just precious. Oh my, you're right. They are beautiful. You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mel. Are you feeling unwell? No, I'm fine. Mel was feeling frustrated at his inability to convey his feelings to her. And as his frustration built up over time, he developed, I suppose you could call it, a severe case of lovesickness. For several consecutive nights, he had been afflicted with a peculiar sensation, a presence in his bedchamber. Death. Death to the unholy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. Kill. Jeez. Why? I never wanted her to die. Was she not eating? Seal off the tower. Understood? No one finds out about this. How can you be so calm? Don't you understand what you've done? Ha! Pinning the blame on me. How nice it must be to be able to distort reality with panic. You're just as guilty as any of us. I never wanted her to die. The witch killed her. The blood of the witch killed my... Ah! A dream? What was a dream? It was horribly unsettling. I was holding someone, a girl I care for dearly, in my arms, and she was limp. It was almost as if she were dead. I've been having a lot of really unpleasant dreams lately. Can't stop shaking. Why would I have such a dream? Feel sick. Back to sleep. But I wonder, who was that girl? I can sense someone standing beyond my door. Is someone there? Like they're watching me. Is it just my imagination? Can't move. What? What do you want? Go away. Sound. It's growing fainter. Is that truly what your story meant, Father? But Such a magnificent garden. Something something we could never have had. Are my intentions misguided? What a beautiful white rose. You know, you could have sneaked into his room rather easily then. No one was watching. How long have you... Oh, you needn't pay me any mind. I shall not condemn you, no matter what you might do. Rather, I am on your side. I was not going to do anything. Oh, is that so? Then perhaps you were out for a late night stroll. I imagine you have less difficulties going outside at night. I beg your pardon. I will return to the mansion immediately. Oh yes, that reminds me. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. News of that spread quite far. I am sure you would have heard about it. Oh? Although, was Gamache imprisoned? Dear me, I am having trouble remembering. But worry not. If you wish for it, the mansion shall provide. You are in no danger whatsoever of getting caught. You said that a witch lives in the mansion, did you not? I did. Does that sound perhaps a bit archaic to you? No. I believe those rumors mockingly refer to me. Oh my. I have been accused of being a witch before, which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. I simply have an unusual appearance. My, what a lovely shade of red. Rose. Is something the matter? It's Rose. This rose was white until I took it in my hand. Is that so? I apologize. I must sound mad. I'm sure I was just mistaken. It couldn't possibly have changed. I wonder... Yes? Did the girl locked in the mansion become a princess? What? We should lock up and head to bed. Make sure all of the shutters are closed nice and tight, and then draw the bar on the front door. Slowly but surely, time trekked onward, everyone working toward their own individual goals. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hallowed breath carrying the flower's fragrance in through Rose Manor's windows. If only time could be stopped, and this beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mel's eyes chased after the white-haired girl, and Nellie pursed her lips in frustration at him. But she was still rather docile, even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, how fickle her temper. Nellie's fits were still no worse than a playful kitten. See, at that very moment, our lively little feline had her claws poised to swat at the flaxen-haired young man. Mel, you promised me, or have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten. I'm just asking if we can go another day. Another day? This isn't something that happens every day. I've been looking forward to tonight's performance for so long. There's nothing I can do about that. We're having a gathering at the priest's home tonight. Several high-ranking officials have come up from the mainland just for this. Who cares? I care. You know, Nellie, It doesn't have to be me who goes with you.
No, I want to go with you, Mel. You've been so distant lately, dearest Mel. You refuse to do anything with me?
That's not true.
Tell me, if you can't go today, when can you? When will you be willing to go out with me? When will you be willing to play cards with me? To have tea together?
I can't make any promises. I have things to do, obligations. And Nellie, you're almost an adult yourself. Stop acting like such a child.
I'm not an adult yet. I'm still a kid. If it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dearest Mel, then I don't want to be an adult.
Nellie, you can't.
Lady Nellie.
Oh, sorry. It's the wrong one.
Lady Nellie, the master wishes to speak with you. Huh? Father does? What could he want?
Go on, Nellie. You can't make Father wait. He's very particular about people keeping their appointments.
Yes, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mel.
What's got her in such a foul mood? Oh, thank goodness for small miracles. Nellie just won't seem to take me at my word lately.
You mustn't be so harsh on her. She is your one and only darling little sister.
You're right, but still, she's taken it a bit too far of late.
Oh? I'm not so sure. She does not seem to be behaving any differently to me.
Am I the one acting differently then? Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a favor?
Me? What can I do for you?
I was thinking.
Physically, Mel was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Or perhaps that was simply part of his charm, and it was not the age disparity but his character that made his smile so heartwarming. What did he ask of me? You shall find out soon enough. It's cloudy. Thank goodness for that too. Though it would be even better if it were even darker out. I believe the textile shop was around here. Ah. Hi there. Lord Mel. Fancy meeting you here?
Yeah, what a surprise.
So,
what do you say we take this chance and go for a little walk?
since you're so sensitive to the sunlight, we can keep our eyes out for shadowy areas as we go. And if you feel unwell, just let me know. I was sent out to run an errand.
Don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. I'm sorry. It, actually wasn't an accident that we crossed paths. I planned this out ahead of time, asked to have you sent out on a fake errand. It feels like I'm always on alert back at the mansion. Can't relax in my own house. It's actually kind of funny. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me. I just thought, since the sun's mostly blocked out, it would be alright if... I'm feeling just fine. Ah. Of course, I get out of the house and can't even think of anything to say. Hey, yes? Have you settled into life at the mansion? I have. Everyone has been such a big help. That's good to hear. Indeed. So, yes? Nellie told me she had you help redecorate her room some time back. Ah, yes, that was shortly after I arrived. What of it? Yeah, that day, Nellie told me that you don't, I don't... Never mind. Sorry, it's not important. It is important, but I can't just ask her how she feels about me. That would make it sound like I... Forget sound like I do, don't I? Lord Mel? Oh, sorry. I had something on my mind. It looks like it might rain again today. The weather usually gets better as summer approaches, not worse like it has been. Won't be a heavy storm, though. No? The wind is too gentle. You can tell from that? Vaguely, but yes. Huh, that's impressive. I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. You laugh a lot more than you used to. Do I? Yeah, and I like that. You look better with a smile on your face. A smile suits Lady Letty much more than I. What? Her smile and your smile are completely different. Also, a smile suits you as well, Lord Mel. Do you really think so? What am I supposed to do in the face of a smile like that? So, yes? Knowing her, if I ask if I'm imposing, she'll say no without hesitation. Trying to cover myself isn't going to get me anywhere. Hold on a second. I never did get you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. I was planning to give it to you, but it disappeared before I had the chance. So, I'd like you to have this. It's not a real rose, but it won't wilt either. Mel was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredibly skilled artisan's hand. It was, I imagine, made by the same craftsman from whom Mel had ordered Nellie's birthday necklace. The young man, who but a handful of days earlier had said he had no sweetheart, had come in to commission a present for a girl. The master of the shop must have been quite surprised. Or perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. It was for this moment that he so desperately sought for time together with the white-haired girl. I don't know what you like, so I had to base it on my sister's tastes. My apologies. I cannot accept this. Is the design not to your liking? No, I just... If you're concerned about how much I paid for it, don't be. I just want you to have it, that's all. Please. Why are you so kind to me? Why? Because... I'm sorry, I can't accept it. A clear glint of flustered panic was visible in her red eyes. There is not a girl in the world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of the sparkling rose accessory. But her reaction was far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance. I beg your pardon. Hold on! With a look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off, but Mel grabbed her by the arm in the nick of time. At least, tell me why. Is it because you dislike me? I never said... Something's wrong with me. From the day you arrived at the mansion, it's like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely aflutter ever since then. Whether I try to study or whether I try to read, none of it sticks. I'm just looking at pages of text, tracing rows of letters only for them to disappear as soon as I look away. It's all because of you. truly, truly am sorry. Please, don't be any more generous than you already have. When I'm with you, my willpower wavers.
What do you mean by that?
I'm so sorry.
Ah, wait! Mel's grip loosened for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop her a second time. The dumbfounded, flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze, which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier, felt faintly chilly, almost as if mocking him. Looks like she's even less fond of me than I thought. God, I'm crying. I'm pathetic. Well, if it isn't Mel, what might you be? Are you crying?
I'm so pitiful. Sorry you had to see this.
I think nothing of it. I passed by a girl just a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Did something happen between the two of you?
I wasn't good enough, it seems.
Not good enough?
That was the new maid I was telling you about before. I was, like you said, Father, I was keen on her. Quite. Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. But she rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a stand-in prince.
Well,
I apologize for complaining to you about this. I'm completely hopeless.
Mel.
Please, don't try to cheer me up. I don't need any sympathy. I just...
No, Mel, listen to me.
What?
I've seen that girl before.
What do you mean?
But, you said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case...
Yes, she is. Please, tell me, Father. Where did you see her? Why must you be so evasive?
It was... probably someone else.
Someone else? You're saying you mistook someone who stands out as much as her? Father.
She... and a man whom I assume is her father... paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, clothes, and tatters. The two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily.
What? Wait a minute. Are you saying...
She's a beggar.
But Father said she came from an esteemed house.
Which is why I said I might be mistaken, Mel. She has a singular aspect, but it is possible there is another girl who looks similar.
Deep down, though, the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly, like teacher to a pupil,
But you must be absolutely certain, Mel. Understood? You cannot proceed any further without knowing her ancestry.
May I visit the church, Father?
By all means.
In the back of Mel's mind, a vision of the night of the storm. The night the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags and covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. Have I been putting her through unnecessary stress? She actually turns out to be nameless, to be rankless. No matter where she comes from, my heart is decided. I will not fool myself about how I feel any longer. No, I cannot fool myself. But how does she feel? what will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcomed into our house. I'll ask Mother or Father. No, if for some reason they don't know she isn't aristocratic, I'm better off not saying anything. But if they don't, then does that mean she's been lying to us? And to them? I have to find out. This time I must get answers. No, absolutely not. You come back and the first thing you say is that? I hate you, Father. I will not stand for this. Why? Why would he just suddenly throw that on me? He didn't even ask for my opinion. No, I won't do it. I'm fine the way things are. I'm just fine. Dearest Mel, I need your help. I want to get married. Whew. Heavy. Lots of twists and turns. It's a bit early than I normally do, but I think that's a bit of a bombshell, and we'll definitely end the episode off on that bombshell for sure. Let's hit up our little save right here. Cool. Wow. Things are suddenly getting very interesting. A bit of backstory about the white-haired girl. This bombshell of a news drop that Nellie has to get married because, such was the time of aristocratic families. But yeah, Mel does raise a lot of good questions. If her parents brought in the girl as she was, in her ragged appearance that night, then do they know she's not actually from a royalish family? Not royal, but you know what I mean. High-class family? Are they covering up for her? And if so, why? Because typically they seem like the kind of people who follow those traditions of aristocracy. So there would be no real reason for them to make it up. And there's definitely no way that the white-haired girl is, able to lie to them about her status, right? Is it? Lots of questions, not many answers. But we'll just have to wait to find out more in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing episode of The House in Fata Morgana. And I will see you next time. Bye!